So what's the number one mistake a lot of agents make when they're sitting across from the seller? A big one that a lot of people make is they price too high and the listing sits forever, or they price too low. And then before you even get the listing, you lose the client's trust and they're frustrated and they want to work with you because they think you lowballed them, even though, of course, it might not be what you're showing. So today we're going to show you how to run a CMA the right way and with confidence, so you can walk into any listing and you have your data. You can show how you back up that number and you can actually win that listing. Now, if you've done another CMA before, or if you've never done them, or if you've done them for years, it doesn't matter. I'm just going to hopefully walk you through some basic steps. I'm using the San Antonio Board of Realtors, or LIRA, system to show, just so you kind of know which system I'm in. It should work the same, though, for pretty much any other type of system that you're using. So again, so you have a lot of fun. We're going to get this and kind of just jump right into it. So I'm Andrew Morin. I've been a real estate trainer for years. I work alongside some of the best agents and professionals of business across all different brokers all over the whole state of Texas. And every week I try to post a couple of videos on this channel to bring you good real world training you can use for real use. So if you're new here, welcome to the family. Please subscribe. Don't want to miss any of the videos. If you find this useful, please share with anyone else on your team, any other agents you know, so we can continue to help them out and to help keep going, bring some value to them. So first off, real quick, what is a CMA? It's a comparable market analysis. It helps you determine the best fair market value of a home. So we're not an appraiser. So remember that. Agents, real estate agents are not appraisers. We work with appraisers, but we're not licensed appraisers. But if you do a CMA right, it should be very similar or the same price within a few $1,000s or $100 sometimes, or right on of what the appraisal will do. So you got to think. We look at similar homes that have sold in the same subject area. We compare them to the subject property, and we arrive at a price point that reflects what the market wants to pay. So remember, sellers always think their home is worth more almost all the time. Buyers always think the home is worth the less. So you have to get up and be kind of right there when you're the voice of reason, in other words, when you show up. And a solid CMA gives you a good, solid background to work with. So when you're looking at categories you're going to be pulling, you're going to look at recently sold homes. Of course, those are your primary comps. And you want to kind of see what's there, what is sold, what hasn't sold, and what you're working with. You want to try to stay within 3 to 6 months. I know you can go up to a year. Try to stay within 3 to 6 months. We'll go through that together in a second. Active listings, so you know what your competition is, and expired, so you know what has not sold and what not. And then that's a good way to kind of see what is the market saying, no, we're not going to accept this, and kind of pull right there. All right, so let's jump into it and start doing some actual hands-on. Now you kind of have an idea what we looking at. So I randomly picked this home here in a subdivision near where I live, and I have no idea who the listing is and anything. I just picked the home, and it's just a random home on the MLS. So we're going to go to search listings, single residential, and then once we load up, now this right here, as you do the drop down, you can see I'm in all active. So remember, we do want to see what we're fighting with, who's active. So if I go here to Napa Oaks and I pull up that subdivision, you can see there's 8 active listings right now. So if I go here to view results and I have all 8 listings that I can pull up right there, and I highlight all 8 of them, we can do in our MLS called the CMA summary, which gives you a quick overview. Instead of having to pull all 8 of these together, we can do a quick overview and kind of see what's going on. But quickly, you can see that some are up to 700,000 almost, which seems really high for that neighborhood, but that's okay. And some are a little bit low to 470. So there's a good price range. So I kind of want to see what we're fighting right now, kind of what we're looking at. And let's say that we had let's say this home is a 4.3, 3,200. So if you go here and look, so any other 4.3, this is not a 4.3, this is not a 4.3, this is not a 4.3. And this is a 4.4, but that's okay. We can use a 4.4 close enough. The other ones are good. And then 3,300, pretty close here, pretty close here. This one is very small, and so is this one. So I probably would take these 2 off just because of the square feet, because I want to keep within 10 to 20% 10 to 15% square feet. So if I have these three comps, now you're probably saying, well, this one's not too bad. Maybe this one's not too bad because 26 is close. I'm just going to keep these three just for the sake of looking at it. So right now, homes that are similar to what we're listing for sale, if you can pull that quick summary, are right around the median is 600, average is 620. The days on market can be a lot. It's 262 days for the full days on market, and then some of these have been on the market less. So that gives you an idea right around 610, 600, 620. So right away, if you look, they're priced really well for that home right now, based on what we have looking at on the active right now. So it's not crazy price considering the active. So I'm going to take off the active, and I'm going to go here to sold. And then once I go to sold, again, I'm going to come here, 4-bedroom. I'm going to try to just keep it all within 4.3 to see what I have. I don't put half baths in until I have too many comparables. I'm going to go, I'll do 4 months back to start and kind of see. As you can see, I only have one match 4 months back. So I might go 9 months back. Now I have 6 matches. Now we're talking. Now we're getting closer. So I'm right there, kind of like that at 9 months back. So I like that. I have 6 matches. I have some to work with. Now we did talk about square feet. So if I look at square feet, this is 3261. So I'm just going to pull up my handy dandy calculator. 3261 times 0.15, which is 15%. So I can go about 490 or about 500 up, 500 down. So I could go about 2,700 down and about 3,700 up, just roughly off the top of my head. If my math is wrong, I apologize. And there's about 2,700, 3,700. And now I'm down to 4 matches, which is just about what I want. And if I look at the matches, now of course I can go through and I can try to see if there's single story, double story, age of the home, lot size, everything like that. But those are things that make it a little bit more specific when you have a whole bunch of comparables. These ones look pretty good right now. I have decent comparables looking. This one's a little bit low, which is going to throw off these values. But that's it. Hey, it is what it is. When you have what you have, you got to work with it. Someone sold their home a little bit less expensive. So I could throw out this weird outlier and kind of check what we're getting right here. But I'm going to leave it in there just to show the difference it will make. So once I have my comparables and it looks good, I kind of know a good number is 3 to 4, maybe 5 comps. It's good if you can have 3 to 4 at least. And that's kind of where you get it. Now, once I have this, you're probably saying, Andrew, what if certain adjustments need? So again, say that this home that's for sale, let's see if it has a pool. So we can grab it. Usually the pool is the last picture, so it doesn't have a pool. Okay, so this home does not have a pool. So if we go to some of these other homes that may have pools, and you can see, so this home doesn't have a pool, and then you can do quick things like that. Okay, does this home have a pool? Does this not? So if it does have a pool and it's in the values, see here, like my comp doesn't have a pool. If you're adding a pool value to the value, that's usually about 15 to 20,000, depending on how nice. If there's an extra garage, it could be 5 to 10,000. Now, another video I do is showing you how to adjust square foot. You can watch the video how to do that on price sold per square feet. If they do if it's a huge lot, like an area where I live, there's a lot of cul-de-sacs. Some of those lots are gigantic. Those are worth more, of course, because it's a bigger lot. So you're going to have to kind of take those into account and take it. So I have these 4 comps. I'm going to go ahead real quick here and say create a new CMA. And I'm going to call it, test YouTube. You know what it's for. I'm going to just select me as the client. Always have yourself. It's easy that way. And then I'm going to continue. Not a problem. I have my CMA up, ready to go. Now I can go here as well in my CMA. If I want to do comp adjustments, I can go down here to the bottom on mine. Some of them you can just type it in. Mine, I have to go right here, add more adjustments, and then I can make adjustments to my values as needed. And then of course I could go to number 4 next and go to 4, and then I could adjust that 4th one. So this would allow me to adjust any price sold per square foot difference. If there's a pool added in there, if there's anything special that would raise any of these values. Let's say I go through everything in here and everything looks good. I'm like, all right, I'm good. I like the way it looks. I want to make sure it's good, and I want to take a look at it. So then I just hit generate report, and it's saying based on these comps, it puts me at 552, and we're listed at 599. But remember, we have this really weird outlier at 405. So if I go back to my comparables and I take out this really weird one, I'm going to hit, I'm going to take that one out. And then if I do a generate report and I go down here, I'm right at the list price at $5.99. So that agent did an amazing job. They're right at price. That other one is such a weird outlier. I probably wouldn't accept that one. And then I would take it here. And now I'm at the same value that the home is worth for what it's listed at. And we also looked at the way to see quickly that it's at the good value of what's being sold in that neighborhood. And everything looks good that way. Now, if we wanted to see what was expired, I'm just going to do a little shortcut search here and jump back to my search. So here's my search. And if I go here, instead of sold, if I go to expired, and if I get rid of, 4-bed and do back all the way to the last 24 months, these 4 have expired. And then I can see, okay, what they expired. And a lot of these are in that 2. These are right next to it. The same home expired twice. They tried to sell it real quick. Let's see which one that was. Okay, and that's the one that we used for our example. Wow. So they finally dropped the price on it to get it better. So it was at $590, it was almost $600. Now the price is down to, it's still pretty high. So this home was already expired twice, and we just showed that it is a good value. It's thing, so whatever the reason is, that home was expired twice. And then 2 other ones, we could look at those values. So we could see, okay, what's happening. We looked at active, we looked at expired, we did a quick look and everything like that. So now you know, okay, where are we at based on our comparables, based on the analysis, when we did the little analysis that we did. I'll bring our report up right back here. And then I would have to, well, I gotta grab it real quick. Let me go grab our report that we did. So instead of expired, we were in sold. And I'm just going to go back to the 9 months. We got our 4 matches. And I'm going to take out this weird low end one. And I forgot to save it. That's why I didn't be able to. If you forget to save your work when you're working on it, it's going to bite you in the butt like it just did to me. That's okay. Real world issue. Okay, so now we're back. So again, I'm here. I have my value. I'm ready to go. And then I can take a look. Do I want to go below that $599? I've seen that the home has not sold twice already. It's been expired twice in the last year. So you're going to have to drop that value to get it sold. If the days are longer, the hot market, you might have long days. If it's a hot market, you'll have short days on market. If it's a slower market, like a buyer's market, not a seller's market like it is in that area, you're going to have a lot longer days on market. But remember, this is only the beginning. Because you're going to, a lot of people do what? Well, I see you're sold it for this, but on Zillow, I see it's worth this and this and this. And then when you start having to argue with that and kind of fight with that, you need to understand the logic behind that and be able to explain and kind of go over that logic and make it work. So bring it home. A great call. CMA does 3 things. You get the right comps, you get accurate adjustments, and you get a confident presentation. If you can do those great things with your good presentation and all that, it does set you up for success. It makes it so you can do amazing things. So next lesson, I'm going to be going over how to dominate your geo-farm area, like take a neighborhood and own everything about it when you're looking to sell. So go ahead out there, practice, win the listing, and good luck. I'll talk to you next time.